There is one incident that I always share, and I think that was a life-defining moment for me. Couple of years back, we were working in this weaving cluster. So they used to take turns to make food for us because there were about like 30-35 families. So आज इसके घर पे, कल किसी के घर पे, they used to take turns. And the food that they used to make for us was very interesting in a manner that it was there would always be a component of rice, for example. And here in Rajasthan, we are not big rice eaters. In fact, the quality of rice that we get is also not, a very healthy variety of rice that you should be having every day. Then they would make things like aloo chole ki sabzi, puri, kheer, or aloo ka paratha, or, things which are not everyday things that you wouldn't have every day. So I always used to question that. Do they make it only for us or do they also eat it? What's happening here? Now, this one day, it was like late June, early July sort of situation. It was really hot. I was very pissed because something bad happened at work. And we went to this lady's house, and for I think the third time in that week, somebody was serving us aloo chole ki sabzi, puri, kheer, mirchi. And such a generous woman. She's like very kind to me. She's offering me आपके लिए नींबू पानी बना देते हैं, कुल्फी मंगवा देते हैं, आप कोल्ड ड्रिंक पी लो, आप कूलर के सामने खड़े हो जाओ. सो वो पूरा कॉन्वर्सेशन हो रहा है. And her son came back from school that day, and she gave him like this very big bowl of chach roti. So basically, what people do here in Rajasthan is that they ferment leftover chapatis, they would crush it, and they ferment it in buttermilk. And then they add chopped onions and pudina and cumin, all the cooling ingredients to it, basically, because the atmospheric heat is really high. So you need something which is easy to digest. She gave that to her son, and I was very tempted. तो मैंने उन्हें बोला कि आप मुझे भी यही दे दीजिए. And she, for the first time, I think she pretended कि उन्होंने बात ही नहीं सुनी है. तो मैंने एक दो बार रिपीट किया. Then she just held me and she sat me down. She said, दीदी आप खाना खा लो, आपकी तबीयत खराब हो जाएगी. तो मैंने बोला हाँ आप मुझे वो दे दो, मैं खा लूंगी. So she was like, ये आपको भाएगा नहीं. शी सेड कि ये देहातियों का खाना है, आपको नहीं भाएगा. And her son was sitting in the same courtyard. He was eating and he almost stopped midway and he was looking at us and he didn't say anything, but you could read it all over his face कि अच्छा ये खराब है खाना, गंदा खाना है, उन्हें नहीं दे सकते हो, तो मुझे क्यों दे रहे हो. And I feel this is a very big lens that we use for everything that is sort of ours. We feel like these parts of our identity need to be brushed down under the carpet, be it our language. When we, work with these communities a lot of times, and even at our own house, actually, why talk about anyone else? I have nieces and nephews, and they're constantly being told, okay, you need to talk in English, talk in English, talk in English. While growing up, the school I went to, we were penalized for talking in Hindi. मारवाड़ी तो बोलना ही नहीं आता आज भी बहुत. मतलब I think after many years of rigorous practice, I learned something which is my mother tongue, which should be the first language I know, but I don't think in that language. So we try to hide away these parts of our identity, which I feel is scary.